The clock ticks louder, it's 2025. We're diving off cliffs just to feel alive. Politicians smile, but they sharpen the blade. The same hands that build are the ones that betray. Syria burns like a sequel on repeat. Borders drawn in blood where the vultures meet. Israel and Turkey got maps to reshape, but no peace, just pieces of history to scrape. The world spins, we're caught in a vertigo state. Promises hollow, corruption creates. We scream for salvation, but no one replies. When power blinds, revolution survives. They tax your soul, then steal your bread. Trust us, they say, while we bury the dead. Stock markets tumble, truth's a mirage. They're selling redemption, but it's all sabotage. Collapse on the left, decline on the right. Hades walks among us, cloaked in the night. Government's drunk, lost in delusion. We're choking on lies, drowning in illusion. Karl-Heinz Ottinger, accurate predictions like a sniper. Each shot hits true.
I am a devil of my word!
Global Predictions 2025 through Uranian Astrology. Friends of astrology, I greet you. 2025 is without a doubt an extremely difficult year, as it is theoretically a year of peak events. My opinion is that the crisis is deeply socio-political and subsequently economic. But what is even stranger is that the people are expecting redemption from politicians and individuals who have essentially destroyed their future with their political choices. And, of course, it is a year when, as Gustave Le Bon says, let us leave to the false preachers the vain speeches about pacifism, fraternity, and other illusions that bring to mind the theological debates of the Byzantines at the time when Muhammad invaded their walls. In addition, this may have a literal meaning in many places. The year starts with many difficulties, with the situation in Syria looking like a case of Ukraine 2.0 with a worse end because both Israel and Turkey are claiming territory there. In economic level, the vernal point axis equals the Pluto-Hades midpoint, which speaks of collapse, stock market decline, poverty, while the midpoint Jupiter-Hades is also involved, which means virtual tariffs, financial scam. If in all this we add Saturn-Kronos, which the interpretation is a government where it has no resources, it cannot deliver what it promises. Let's start with what might happen for 2025, North Node. When the government leads a people to destruction from all roads, revolution is no longer a right of the people, but a duty. North Node in Uranian astrology indicates the crowd. This is a year when there will be dangers and natural disasters. Nevertheless, the involvement of midpoint Hades Apollon indicates interruption of trade, decline in finances, but also frightening discoveries in terms of history and archaeology. Cupido. Knowing where the trap is the first step to avoiding it. Cupido means cooperation, agreements, and general associations of people who form a group, a party, etc. Cupido also symbolizes the family. Those close to the centers of power will have rich living and comforts, but the question is, what about the rest of us? The midpoint vernal point Hades involvement indicates poverty, problems from people trying to survive in illegal and violent ways. Many individuals will be rewarded by organizations for the dirty services they provided to the system. All this leads mathematically, and due to the involvement of the midpoint Hades, Poseidon, midpoint outrage of the society and the people. We should, during the year 2025, know that in life nothing is as it seems. Hades. What society ignores, the underground embraces and transforms. Hades, for the year 2025, comes to show us how we as a society will come face to face with our past actions and choices. The involvement of midpoint, vernal point, Saturn will bring waves of migrants from all directions. The issue is that many groups of them will want to lay siege to the areas they settle in. The possibility of an epidemic. I emphasize epidemic, not pandemic, in localized areas cannot be ruled out. Great care in transactions because there will be misuse of money and embezzlement. Chronos. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. Governments around the world behave as if they have vertigo or have drunk large quantities of alcohol. The involvement of the Hades Admetos axis suggests strange ways of governments acting, negligence, and lack of raw materials. Generally, there will be an attempt to manipulate information and thoughts. Therefore, for the year 2025, the most revolutionary thing you can do is to think. Many are concerned with the election of Donald Trump. President Trump is a special character, but tries to enforce his own laws, but forgets that this is not 2016. No longer is America a superpower. Since the end of World War II, America has fought 3 small wars and lost all 3 because of its arrogance. Now Trump is following the exact same formula of putting tariffs, knowing that he is shooting himself in the foot. For the year 2025, Trump should look to save America's economy and by extension the dollar and his own life. But the economy doesn't seem to be saved.